Well, hello. My name is Josh Thomas. I am a mortgage loan officer in the state of Utah, have been since 2003. Imagine if you're watching this video, then you're contemplating getting a new mortgage on a home. Maybe it's because you want to buy a new home for you, or perhaps you want to build a new home, new construction. Perhaps you're thinking about refinancing and wanting to know what kind of options you got, or maybe you're looking at investing in some real estate, and for that reason, you're contemplating working with us. In all cases, I want to thank you for your attention. And hopefully, you're not just bored watching this, but if you are, then hopefully this is at least somewhat engaging. Anyway, thank you again for your attention and watching this. I want to take a couple of minutes and I want to tell you about how and why. I have been doing this since 2003, and I've got a specific passion that I feel like is relatively unique in the marketplace. And I want to explain that to you. Now, I'm not going to talk about what kind of loans we do, what kind of mortgages we do, or how good we are at this or that or the other thing. Hopefully, you'll have a really good taste as to why we do business the way we do it when this video is over. But if you would like to have a better idea of what we can do, then look for that exact video on my YouTube channel. What we can do for you, or is it what exactly do we do and what can we do for you, I think is the name of the video. And that I go through in a little less than 5 minutes, some basic overviews of different options that we have. I am a mortgage broker. I have been for 11 of the almost 20 years I've been doing this at the time of the recording of this video. Now, why am I a broker? That has everything to do with what I want to share with you. So since the very beginning when I started doing this, just a few months, I would say maybe a year after I'd begun being a mortgage loan officer, I was introduced to a financial advisor, and I had a manager, two separate individuals that didn't really know anything about each other. The manager asked me why my client wanted to take this loan or that loan, and introduced me to the concept of a strategy and making sure that clients are taking the right loan for their situation. And then the financial advisor was showing me how people can actually use their house as a financial planning tool. And of course, both of those individuals really stimulated my mind. And I have found that I've absolutely loved this job when I get to do this for people. And so what you're going to find is I have a team of people behind me that do a lot of the work for me. And different people have different amounts of interaction with those team members, but I oversee everything they do. My focus is and has been and probably always will be focused on the strategy, on what strategy are clients pursuing. So I want to give you kind of an example. I've told many clients that if they buy a house through us and then just stay with us and refinance the way we teach them to do, they'll be able to purchase a house today on a 30-year fixed rate, 30-year fixed monthly payment. And then after just a couple of few years, perhaps we can get them refinanced and restructure their finances into a way where they can have that whole house paid off free and clear within the next 15 years, possibly even faster than that. All of it without changing their budget, even a dollar. So I know this is a video, I know you can rewind that, but I want to make sure that you caught that point. On a 30-year fixed payment, I can help clients get their homes paid off in less than 20 years in many cases. In many cases, less, even faster than that, if they'll follow what we teach. Now, if my focus is trying to help you get out of debt, not get you into debt, I mean, a mortgage is a really big debt, right? And so anyway, I want you to know that my interest in you as we get to know each other is to help you learn all these little secrets that exist in my industry. It is the largest financial transaction of most people's lives when they're handling a mortgage. And it's so funny because a lot of times people will keep their mortgage over here, their taxes over here, their 401ks over here, and other insurances elsewhere. And I've always helped try to encourage people to pull them all together and make sure that you do have somebody that you trust that understands what's, your situation, that you can understand when you talk with them as you try to incorporate all these different financial vehicles together. But if you do that with us, we're going to be able to help you get that house paid off much more quickly. Unless that, of course, isn't your ambition at all, in which case we'll be able to help you arrive at the point where you have that option. Both cases, we can help you get there very quickly. So I just want to share a couple of quick scenarios as I wrap up this video. But that is why we do this business. We are a mortgage company. We are going to focus on helping you get the very best experience you can get with your mortgage. In other words, fast closings, aggressive pricing that gives you a very great deal, great transparency and understanding of the situation, advice on the strategy. These are the things that we're going to focus on when we're helping to work with you, because we are a mortgage company. But the things that I'm going to be most interested in is helping you make sure that you structure your finances with the right strategy that'll get you out of debt the soonest. And so let me give you a scenario. A client friend of ours went ahead. We helped them buy a house a few years ago. They call us back. They're interested in moving to a 15-year mortgage. Why? Well, he's 54 years old and he wants to have, he doesn't want to have a mortgage, when he's 80. And so he's like, hey, Josh, I just want a 15-year mortgage. And unfortunately, he didn't qualify for a 15-year mortgage. His payment would go up too much for his debt to income ratio. And a lot of lenders would have just said, sorry. Or they would have tried to put him onto a 30-year mortgage or something, which is what he didn't want. What I did is I looked at his full financial picture and I recommended to him a consolidation of a lot of debt that he had, which was actually business debt, which is, there's things to consider and recognize when you do that. But I recommended that he do a full consolidation. And if he did that full consolidation and then just kept making his same monthly payments that he's making already, pre-phone call with me, he's making this many payments, per month. After phone call with me and closing with me, he's going to keep making those same payments. But in this scenario, he had 27 years to go to pay off his house and a whole bunch of other debts. And he thought he'd have most of those debts paid off in the next 5 to 10 years. But after consideration, he got to thinking he probably would not actually. They may still carry them for 10 or 15 years. But after the refinance, I recommended he do a full consolidation of everything that he had, and then just keep making that same exact monthly budget payment to the new mortgage. And if he did that, check this out, he would have no mortgage whatsoever in just 8 years. Now, this is really, really important because he called me up wanting a 15-year mortgage so that he could hopefully have no debt whatsoever in 15 years from now. I gave him a way of getting there in just 8. And so that's the power of strategy. Remember, he bought 3 years ago. So 3 plus 8 is only 11 years. On a 30-year payment with his other debts included, we'll have him completely out of debt from scratch, from buying a house 3 years ago to 11 years. He'll be completely out. And we actually modified his strategy to be able to pull that cash. Instead of making the full monthly payment into the mortgage, he's actually going to automatically transfer a big chunk of that money per month for 1 year, which will create for him a necessary emergency reserve to help him avoid debt altogether in the future. And then by doing that, then in year 2, he would start doing the full budget contribution like I was talking about, where he'd be completely out of debt 8 years after that. Now, that's going to add a year to his strategy, but it's going to add a lot more stability and ability for him to weather the next 8 years to make sure he does stay out of debt. So I did like that strategy. And plus, he's got more to his that we actually are another thing that we added that he's going to be doing that's even better than that and should get him there even faster with quite a bit more liquidity as well as quite a bit more benefit. Anyway, I want to thank you for your attention and watching this and considering us. As you consider working with us and as you watch that other video to see what it is that we do, I want you to consider why we do what we do. And if you feel like working with us is going to get you there faster, then I would ask you, what other concerns do you have? Regardless of whatever interest rates are at, whatever interest rate we give you in closing costs, it's all going to be focused on the right strategy. And I think you can agree that in this scenario that I displayed, that guy's going to spend a whole lot less in interest by having no mortgage in 11 years than anybody with the very best interest rate or the whatever that they might hear somewhere else. We do offer very competitive pricing. We do offer very quick closings. We know what we're doing on the mortgage side, but our focus is on helping you use this as a financial planning tool that's going to benefit you in much, much bigger ways than just trying to save a few bucks. Please let us know if you have any further questions. Thank you for your attention. I'm really looking forward to getting to meet you. You have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you later. Josh Thomas, mortgage broker in Utah.